Just grabbed room sound that I'll noise reduce out afterwards. I like the way my shtick is completely improvised. I mean unscripted. I might be thinking over stuff and planning it in my head, but I don't even take notes. I worked through this when I years years ago when I started making videos after being more writing text oriented. Now I'm like I said it in one video. I want to sound like a radio. I grew up on the rate talk radio, so I want to be like that. Although they were probably 100% scripted somehow. Although maybe not if they didn't have the artificial intelligence probably back then to be able to pull that off. What was it, a couple years ago? They started pushing that AI on us. I'm not good with time like that. I have to, I'm just not good at that at all. The spacing out the time. I'm not completely bad at it. I can, in general, have a sense. So this is myself trying to show how life should be and that we need to put on mute the AI stuff. And that means reading it too. So we have to stop reading AI and we have to especially stop listening to people speaking who are speaking off of teleprompters with AI. There's no other way that they would be able to do this if all these shows are scripted, like I'm saying. And it's not even if. These shows are 100% scripted. I figured it out. Another thing I figured out, but it wasn't my scoop. It was one of those things I noticed, and then it I did flesh it out a little bit. I think I did flesh it out as much as anyone else afterwards. I'm talking about the Eglin Air Force Base when it emerged off of a Reddit blog. I I'm gonna after this. I'm just speaking now I have the Audacity in front of me, so I would know if it glitched out. And then I got coffee running, and I'm feeling pretty good. I know there's gonna be stuff behind me that's 100% related to this topic, which is social containment, which is just another phrase or words for COINTELPRO, for Hal Turner styled activities. Think about is it from, I can never pronounce it, or I couldn't even remember it until a few days ago, but from some phenomenology. The idea that they could study us like the early 1900s and they could tell if someone would be a criminal based on how they look, based on their cheekbones or whatnot. That's why I think it's not a big leap to think. I don't think that it's a big leap that they're trying to that it's true. I've got one screenshot. Um, okay, so I got a lot of thoughts running through my head, but I definitely am gonna let the video take care of any issues with that I'm just rambling and spontaneously fishing around my head. It's exciting. So I'm getting like all these different the autism ADHD. It makes it much more difficult. It's got pros and cons to it. If there's no time limit, then I think the autism ADHD people are the smartest. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't sound too obnoxious. I know it must sound a little. I know I said something in another video that had to sound so stupid, and I wanted it to sound like a joke, but then when I heard it again, I listened through it again. I'm like, ugh, that sounds like I meant it. I guess I did mean it. In my defense, I was never this conceited before or confident before being diagnosed by someone with the PhD to do so, that I am in the gifted class, the special class. Okay, here's a thought I want to pound out before I forget. I go lurking on Reddit conspiracy, right? There were 1,400 people online, and usually there's been about 500, and that's probably been being artificially propped too. They got rid of the third party thing. They used to be able to have like 10, 20,000 accounts online in that subreddit all at once. And I think that stopped when Reddit discontinued the use of the third party app. So I go there today, just lurking. It said 1,400, and I'm opening up a new tab to any stories that look kind of like I want to see what it's on about. And then it went down to like 600. I'm like, what? So I refreshed the screen, and it went from 1,400. It did. It just dropped. So like it went 1,400 to 600 in a second, in seconds. And I noticed one. I'm not gonna work off of that website, Reddit. I'm just saying this stuff because this overall video I'm making right now is about Reddit and how their biggest audience is Eglin Air Force Base. They admitted it. It was like 2013. And then I think for damage control, they come out a couple years later saying, Eglin saying, oh yeah, this is Warren Dixon. They put articles in Ars Technica and all that type of stuff, admitting the social containment program. And it's bizarre as F. I found that I think someone did mention that study, and then eventually I did read through it, and it just lines up very crispily with the Snowden documents. And then the AI is like frosting on the cake to understand the total control of the social media by the US military. That's what's going on. It's bizarre as F, but this is precisely what's going on. So, right, I just wanted to mention, I did not forget the point I wanted to make off of that, the page stats thing I was talking about. I noticed how they use the upvotes and how they push. So one entry had like 17 thumbs up or something with only 5 comments. And then when I look at it, it's like it's obviously AI, and they try to make it seem like it's a regular guy or gal who knows how to write up an academic paper with footnotes. And then in the comments, it's just BS one-liners like, wow, thanks, a real conspiracy for one, none of that politics stuff, or uh, they they can't pull this off. There's always nothing can be pulled off ever with any type of sustainability. And they're always trying to catch up to what's been leaked. So they thought they'd catch up to what I've been leaking out the last couple years. They thought they'd throw me off my game. They thought they'd repulse the audience. They control the stats. They actually do fake stats. It's bizarre. This is all 100% bizarre. The only way to break off from it is to do like you got to gray rock it. I mean, like how they say you got to gray rock the narcissist. You have to we have to do that. One has to do that to the medium. They'll just pull one back in. Spoken over 12 minutes. I don't like putting this on pause. Alright, I'm gonna put it on pause and get a coffee together. And I don't think I'm gonna talk anymore. And then I'm just gonna add on stuff. Oh, I wanted to also mention, so those people are Eglin Air Force Base, those screenshots I'm putting up. The 4 people behind that social containment paper. They're from like University of Florida, and it's like Air Force and aerospace type engineering. And that's what Fiorella's brother Johnny Mallorca was doing. I cyber sleuthed him a little bit. He was caught filming for police at Echo Park. One of my like 10 or 20 scoops, or how many I've had. That's a huge scoop I had. That convo coach was filming for police. It's not my fault they're stupid. It's not sloppy stupid. It's not my fault that they didn't think there'd be another channel, and a huge one, German in Venice. Or they're so arrogant they always think they can cover up. They always think they can correct whatever's been leaked, and I'm saying no. If there's a turd in the punch bowl, it's over. They're the turd. Now it's like all turds in the punch bowl. Everyone's saying F you, F this, I think. Because I don't. And then they bring in the dead internet. So they bring in the dead internet idea. They move it from like dead links to then dead participants, like unalive participants, like robots. And then I guess that's how they think they can clean up the mess they've made. The key, though, yet again, I'm just going to advise this to people because I think it's the right thing to do. Don't care anymore. Try to read books. Seriously, you got to find a way to to break off from the medium completely. Man, watch some old movies. I'm not saying. I hope people understand what I'm saying. That it's a pizza for one journey. This thing called life. But there are also things called teachers and good people here and there, but not on internet. So I'm basically like the guy, the Gene Hackman in the Poseidon Adventures, saying the ship, hey fellas, the ship actually it got flipped. We have to go that way. We have to be logical about this. But they don't. There's no way to. They control it. It's bizarre but true. They control it. So we as individuals have to figure out how to become sovereign with the body and mind. Maybe a psychoanalyst like Viktor Frankl from the Holocaust era. Maybe he showed a path. I think Eric Fromm. I think Eric Fromm was a very strong individual who was able to maintain autonomy of mind. I would say Eric Fromm did the most damage, and C. Wright Mills. I think those two did the most damage, and Herbert Marcuse. I don't know why he tries to disown one-dimensional man. But I want to say anywho, but I'm not gonna, because that would maybe trigger me. It's a long story. I'd love to teach, but they steal everything. They mimic. So that's why one has to mute, because if you don't mute, you're gonna get, they're gonna try to hook you into noticing. Their plan B, plan C, plan D, they never concede. They never get out of Vietnam. You know what I mean? So right here, this is like, we're like Laos. We're like not even included officially in the war. And this is the reality of it. Colonel Kurtz is the reality that they're hiding, that they continue to try to hide from masses of people. When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this is, love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that You feel that way too, is when I fall in love with you. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too, is when I fall in love with This is Nat King Cole on the street where you live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that people stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you live. Let me be on the street where you live. This is Otis Redding sitting on the dock of the bay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. sitting in the morning sun. I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I watch them roll away again. I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, and I headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've got nothing to live for. Look like nothing's gonna come my way, so I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, I'm wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything seems to stay the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. It's 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, I'm wasting time.